It's Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's where the suddenly surging Mets, who have won 6 of their last 7 games, look to wrap up a series win over the first-place Atlanta Braves. We've got all the baseball action coming your way here on SNY. Welcome to Mets Pregame Live. I'm Henry Hipschman alongside Todd Zeal, and the suddenly surging Mets, who have had one of the best offenses in baseball since the start of their 9-game road trip, are looking to wrap up a series win over the division-leading Atlanta Braves. The Mets right now are averaging over 7 runs per game since the trade deadline. One of the biggest reasons for the Mets' recent surge is Francisco Lindor, who went deep in the second inning last night in an 8-5 victory over Atlanta. He now has 5 home runs and 13 RBIs over his last 14 games. Todd, what has led to his latest success at the plate?
It's a couple of things, but I think you can really key on his ability to hit the fastball. Early in the season, hang on. Earlier in the season, he was struggling with the fastball especially the high velo fastball. And since this time, about July 19th against Philly, he had the home run, but I think this one was a little bit more impressive. The low fastball at 98 miles an hour, able to drive it off the center field fence. And from that point, he just seemed like he was more on time. We've always seen with Lindor, especially from the left side, takes him a little while to get going, and especially a little while to catch up to the fastballs. That ball, not a fastball, but he crushed that into the chop house last night and continues to swing the bat well from both sides of the plate. And when Lindor's hitting balls the opposite field like this, you know he's locked in, you know he's feeling good. When he's feeling good, the hits can come in bunches.
Now, there were a lot of rumors about him potentially being dealt at the trade deadline, but the deadline came and passed, and he's still with this team. How important is he in this Mets lineup right now, especially during this hot streak?
Well, I think he's important for a couple of different reasons. I think it's a good point about the trade deadline coming and going, because I don't think when he got here he would have ever imagined himself being, a guy that the name was brought up in the trade, talks. But the reality is he is a guy that is a solid, fixture in this lineup. He's a guy that is looked upon to be a leader. And with this disjointed season that he's had, with him and Soto both being out at different times, and without him having consistent playing time, he hasn't really been able to lead by example, which is really what I think he does better than leading with rah-rah kind of talk. And so him on the field, playing well, feeling more confident, looking like he's having fun, that's very important, because that's the leadership that the guys can look at to emulate.
He's definitely leading an impressive offense at the moment. Let's take a check of the Mets lineup, and Francisco Lindor is once again batting second. He was 3 for 5 last night, including that home run in Monday's win over Atlanta. And then Bo Bichette right behind him is batting third. Over his last 16 games, Bo's hitting with a .328 batting average. Let's jump over to the mound, where for the Mets tonight is getting the start is Nolan McLean. He gave up 5 runs over 5 innings in his last outing against the Guardians. But over his last 7 starts, he has an ERA under 2.5 and is averaging close to 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's going to be opposed by Braves veteran left-hander Martin Perez. Now, let's jump over to the Braves lineup, where the Braves have lost 3 of their last 4 games, and once again in the leadoff spot, it's Drake Baldwin. He's getting the start at catcher. He had 2 hits with an RBI and a run scored in the game last night. And then Matt Olson is at first base, hitting third. He's hitless in 8 career at-bats with 5 strikeouts against Nolan McLean, but he is wielding one of the hottest bats in baseball with 7 home runs in his last 13 games. Let's go back and focus on Nolan McLean, who's getting ready for his 24th start of the season tonight and his 3rd against the Braves. He's performed well this season, has been finding a bit more length on the mound, going at least 6 innings in 9 of his last 11 starts. How have you seen him evolve throughout the season? Well,
we talked about Lindor and the fastball. The fastball is also a key to Nolan McLean. Nolan McLean is a guy that has came up with such, tout over his ability to spin the baseball. But really, when you look at pitching in general, and it applies to Nolan McLean, everything goes off the fastball. You see that fastball usage over the last 7 games up significantly, and that fastball usage has allowed him to get deeper into games, have fewer pitches per at bat. As you see, the ERA has dropped as well. Sweeper usage is another thing that's gone down considerably. He was having issues being able to command that pitch, and then when he would command it, he'd have to throw it for a strike, and a lot of times the damage was being done on that pitch. So he's eliminated some of the usage on that, gone to the fastball. 3 different kinds of fastballs, by the way. The fastball is a sinker, a 4-seam, and the cutter. All of them he can use effectively. All of them he's able to throw for strikes pretty consistently, and that's enabled him, I think, to make the curveball a better weapon and the fastball to get ahead. And so you're seeing him go deeper into games and keeping the run production down as well.
He certainly looks like he's getting better with each start, especially when he's facing the Atlanta Braves. But we're going to rewind and take a look back at last night's game and the highlights between the Mets and the Braves as they faced off for their fourth series matchup of the season. Top of the first, Bo Bichette with a base hit to left field. A.J. Ewing comes in to score from his leadoff double. The Mets lead 1-0. Later in the inning, bases loaded for Brett Beatty. He sends one deep to right center field. That one is going, gone. Grand slam for Beatty, the first of his career. The Mets take an early 5-0 lead. Top of the third, Mets lead 6-2. No one on for Francisco Lindor. He crushes one into the made to chill section in right field. A solo shot for the shortstop. The Mets push the lead back to 5. Now Christian Scott on the mound, bottom fourth. Mets lead 7-3. Ronald Acuna Jr. knocks a single to left. A run comes in to score. Scott would pitch 4 innings, allow 4 runs on 7 hits while striking out 6. Bottom of the fifth, Jonathan Pintaro comes in to relief. And oh no, wild pitch, runner on third. And he comes in to score, and it is now a 2-run game all of a sudden here in the bottom of the fifth, but not much more offense because we'll jump to the 9th inning where Kodai Senga makes a relief appearance and a fly ball to Carson Bench. She makes the catch. First save of Kodai Senga's career. 8-5 was the final. In 3 innings of relief since the start of August, Senga has allowed 0 runs, 2 walks, and struck out 4 batters. Now, his numbers as a starter this season weren't pretty, so perhaps the Mets can capture lightning in a bottle with Senga at the back end of the bullpen as the season winds down. We're just getting going here on Mets Pregame Live. When we come back, we'll be joined by the legendary radio voice of the Mets, Howie Rose, to discuss his impending retirement as well as his recollections of some of his greatest calls. We look forward to chatting with Howie when Todd and I come right back.